William would love to fight him. I would love to make William Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. I literally would.
After so much back and forth and uncertainties, the fight between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda has finally been confirmed.
Hey Shakur, so you say nobody wants to fight you? Well, check out William Zepeda Saturday night on DAZN.
The confirmation came after both parties were able to make some funny agreements between themselves.
He's begging me to fight you. See you then?
One would have imagined the free agency phase of Shakur Stevenson's career as the phase where he finally gets his deserved fights. However, it's looked very far from that when you consider how much effort was made into making the fight between him and William Zepeda a reality.
Shakur Stevenson, you're a free agent, you're a great fighter, great talent.
There was so much adversity to the success of that matchup, with Oscar De La Hoya being the biggest of all obstacles. Interestingly, however, he eventually agreed to Shakur's terms, but he also included a clause before he could settle on the 70-30 deal.
Somebody says you're not fighting for the public, I cannot promote.
Oscar De La Hoya has the impression that his fighter sits as the #1 contender on all rankings, and therefore needs to go for the best and most profitable of all. But things are very far from his perception of the situation. Notably, the World Boxing Council ordered the American to fight top-ranked contender and undefeated William Zepeda next, with a purse bid scheduled for August 20th. As a result, a bidding war is expected to ensue for Stevenson's next outing, with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing and Floyd Mayweather's Mayweather Promotions both recently expressing interest in linking up with the 27-year-old.
Who's there at 135 that you would want to match Zepeda with?
The one fight I would love right now is Haney.
Zepeda's promoter, Golden Boy Promotions, would also undoubtedly bid if the fight goes to purse bids, while Top Rank could make a surprise splash, driving up the price. Despite this, it remains unclear whether Golden Boy will pursue the contest.
I'd love to match him up with Haney. They will never take it. Trust me, they will never take it.
Chairman and CEO Oscar De La Hoya has been very insistent that he won't make the fight unless Stevenson signs with Golden Boy beforehand. Meanwhile, the boxing icon wrote on X last night, "Check this out. At the rate William Zepeda 2 is so badass, he has 4 sanctioning bodies to choose from. Nobody will tell him who he must fight next."
Trust me, they will never take it. I would love to face him against Pitbull.
Zepeda is currently ranked no, won by all 4 major sanctioning bodies, but he may only have 2 routes to choose from, with World Boxing Association champion Gervonta Davis and International Boxing Federation title holder Vasyl Lomachenko currently in talks for a unification clash this November. Outside of the World Boxing Council, he could take a fight with World Boxing Organization champion Denis Berinchik, who won the title in May by beating Emmanuel Navarrete via split decision.
No Mexican war. I would put him against anybody right now. Shakur, the only one that I is Shakur.
Zepeda has proved to be a formidable competitor, with none of his opponents able to ask any serious questions of the Mexican during his 31-fight career thus far. Cameron has ended 27 of his 31 wins inside the distance and holds decent victories over former world title challenger Maxie Hughes and former International Boxing Federation super featherweight champion Joseph Diaz.
Shakur, he's a bad. Shakur's good.
Although a boxer is ordered to face a top contender, that doesn't necessarily mean that the fight will happen, as both men can reach an agreement, and in many cases, money and interest end up changing the initial plans. But if Zepeda ends up being his next rival, Stevenson will be happy to fight him, as he believes he would possibly be his toughest opponent to date.
Shakur's good. He's actually really, really good.
Zepeda is a hell of a fighter. I don't even think I've been in the ring in my professional career with a fighter like that. He throws a bunch of punches. He's great with his own style, and a guy like that will bring the best out of me, Stevenson said per Boxing Scene. The Mexican, who has won his 31 professional fights, last defeated Giovanni Cabrera by knockout the same night Stevenson beat Harutyunyan.
I think he called out Shakur Stevenson. I just wanted to see.
Te escuchó llamando a Shakur Stevenson.
Stevenson is now a free agent after completing the final fight on his top-ranked contract against Artem Harutyunyan earlier this month, which he won on points. And after an unsuccessful attempt to sign him to Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya engaged in a war of words with Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson and Oscar De La Hoya traded words after the World Boxing Council champion was ordered to face William Zepeda next. Both fighters are immensely promising talents in the sport, and their bout provides an exciting clash for fans. Both fighters are currently undefeated, with Stevenson holding a 22-0 professional record and his potential next opponent a 31-0. Former world champion turned boxing promoter Oscar De La Hoya recently shared his thoughts on the potential WBC lightweight title fight. Golden Boy claimed that Zepeda was the mandatory challenger for all major world titles and could decide who he wanted to fight next. This led Stevenson to claim that Zepeda would avoid him should the pair of pugilists not fight next. In another post, he wrote,
William will make his decision very soon, and he has 3 other options. Shakur Stevenson, you're a free agent, you're a great fighter.
Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda will go to purse bids on August 20th with a 70-30th split in Shakur's favor if no deal is agreed and neither fighter pulls out of the ordered fight. The World Boxing Council lightweight champion fired back at De La Hoya's comments about Zepeda, writing this: "Nobody want to talk about how these dudes are ducking in broad daylight. Shakur Stevenson is arguably the hottest free agent in boxing right now, but with his talent widely recognized, his free agency status is bound to change soon."
There's a lot of rumors going on that the Saudis are going to take over boxing and buy out every single promoter. Well, guess what?
It was reported that several promoters, including Oscar De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn, were interested in the WBC lightweight champion. While the undefeated world champion is yet to confirm who he will sign with, he has confirmed that he won't be re-signed with Top Rank, his original promoters, nor will he be signing with De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions. De La Hoya recently stated that he cannot promote Stevenson, saying this: "Great fighter, but not for me. I believe that when somebody says they're not fighting for the public, I cannot promote them." The 27-year-old responded with this: "He's mad because he found out I'm not signing with him. It's okay, you'll get over it."
Big meeting for you next week.
Earlier, Oscar De La Hoya had promised Shakur Stevenson he'd get the fight against William Zepeda once he signs for Golden Boy Promotions, an idea he soon shut down. It all began after Shakur Stevenson's interview with Cigar Talk that promoter Oscar De La Hoya and his fighter were avoiding him. Where is William Zepeda? Where is he? We gonna keep hyping him up because he's fighting these guys. He's stopping in 3-4 rounds because he's throwing volume. These dudes ain't in the shape that I am. Come on, bro. If Tank is gonna go fight Lomachenko, why can't I go fight harder? Maybe the harder fight, we don't know. Maybe the fight was harder just because of William Zepeda's volume and how many punches he threw. Where is he at though?
I didn't re-sign with them.
Because you ain't signed an extension.
Yeah, they sent me a deal, re-signed with them. Yeah. I turned it down.
He then continued, "I think they're banking on another fight where they can win a belt. Berinchik, they don't want this belt." De La Hoya then spoke out on the matter, saying the fight can happen next under one condition: the new promotional free agent signs with him. In his comments, Stevenson stated that he turned down a $15 million deal with Top Rank for 5 fights. He indicated his desire to explore his free agency. Almost immediately, De La Hoya extended an invitation. Following his fighter William Zepeda's win over Giovanni Cabrera, the Mexican took his record to 31 wins in 31 fights with 27 knockouts.
And I think when you're in that position, when you're the #1 contender in every organization.
That was Zepeda's 4th stoppage win in a row. Oscar has been keen on getting his fighter a title shot, with Shakur potentially in the running.
In every organization, you have to make a statement like that. And that's exactly what he did.
He made a statement. That's the bottom line. When you're in that position, when you're the #1 contender in every organization, you have to make a statement like that. And that's exactly what he did. Cabrera is very awkward, as we saw with Isaac Pitbull Cruz, where he took him the distance. I think this win for Zepeda was excellent, and now we go for the world title. Shakur, give me a call. I would love to make a call with you. He made a statement. When you're the #1 contender in every organization, you have to make a statement like that. And that's exactly what he did, De La Hoya said.
He was relentless. He took a few shots because he's very awkward.
The problem Shakur faced was that he may not get a better deal elsewhere after he turned down $3 million a fight from Top Rank. Hence, promoters now know what Top Rank is willing to pay him. Unless Stevenson can secure a deal with the Saudis, it is difficult to see where else he gets a big payday unless he changes his style. In fights with Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, both big draws, Stevenson would be the B-side. However, immediately after his fight, Stevenson made it clear that he was open to entertaining all offers, but had hinted that the frontrunner could be Eddie Hearn's Matchroom. Both Hearn and De La Hoya's companies broadcast on DAZN.
He will fight Shakur. I will make that fight next if Shakur calls me. I will make that fight tomorrow.
Matchroom has been on a recruiting spree in the U.S. market of late, acquiring elite assets in Jaron Boots Ennis, Jaleel Hackett, and this week's signing, Eduardo Hernandez. Ennis and Hackett made their Matchroom debuts this past Saturday in separate fights against David Avanesian and Pete Dobson at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. One celebrity in attendance was Stevenson, who held court with Eddie Hearn and other top brass at Matchroom over becoming the next big U.S. signing at the company.
I'm telling you right now, this is exclusive. William Zepeda will fight Shakur Stevenson. He will fight Shakur. I will make that fight next.
Hearn, according to Stevenson, is one of the best promoters in the game. The Matchroom chairman laid out a 3-fight plan for Stevenson when speaking to Fight Hub TV. It included Zepeda, a move to 140 pounds to box Liam Paro, before a co-promotion with PBC for a Stevenson versus Tank Davis super fight. Hearn was asked about the possibility of signing Shakur and said, "Listen, he's going to talk to everyone like he should. We're going to meet with Shakur and his team next week. We're going to have a sensible conversation. It's got to work for everybody. He's in a great position. He's probably one of the most talked about fighters in the world."
Listen, he's going to talk to everybody like he should, you know. We're going to meet with Shakur and his team next week. We're going to have a sensible conversation. It's got to work for everybody. He's in a great position. He's probably one of the most talked about fighters in the world.
Hearn continued, "I think he's going to enjoy the process. I know he's coming to the meeting on Monday, and I know he's going to enjoy learning about the business a little bit as well and understanding the right moves to make." He added, "The key for him is to be able to make the big fights. I think that's the most important thing." Shakur was then asked why he would like to sign with Hearn and Matchroom Boxing.
So, you know, I think he's gonna enjoy the process, because I know he's coming to the meeting on Monday, and I think he's going to enjoy learning about the business a little bit as well and understanding the right moves to make. And I think that, you know, the key for him is to be able to make the big fights. I think that's the most important thing.
I feel like Eddie Hearn is one of the best promoters in the game. I love the way that he does his job. I would definitely love to be a part of the stable, but I definitely am going to talk to everybody else and see what's the best available option. But for sure, I think he's one of the best in the game. When asked if there was a 3-fight deal he could make with Eddie Hearn, who would he like to face?
Honestly, I've been saying this. I done said this in multiple interviews. I done said this everywhere. I feel like Eddie Hearn is one of the best promoters in the game. I love the way that he do his job. And I would definitely love to be a part of the stable, but I definitely am going to talk to everybody else and see what's the best available option. But for sure, I think he's one of the best in the game.
I like Zepeda. If we can't get Zepeda, I think Kambosos has been talking a lot on Twitter. I would love to set up a fight in Australia and make him 0-4 down there. Him, Tank, Lomachenko, whoever we can get in the ring, that's the biggest and best fighters.
I like Zepeda. If we can't get Zepeda, I think Kambosos has been talking a lot on Twitter today, and I would love to set up a fight in Australia and make him 0-4 down there. But Tank, Lomachenko, whoever we could get in the ring, that's the biggest and best fights.
Hearn added, "He's a great fighter. I'm a great promoter. I believe we are a match made in heaven."
He's a great fighter. I'm a great promoter. I believe we are a match made in heaven.
Stevenson added, "With the energy that he has, I'm definitely going to be able to give my best performances and be able to show out. I love the energy at Matchroom." Promotion-wise, Eddie Hearn is a better promoter than Top Rank, Stevenson recently said on Cigar Talk, indicating a possible preference out of all the available options. He promotes the fighters.
I say that I think that with the energy that he got, I'm definitely gonna be able to give like my best performances and be able to show out. And I love the energy at Metro.
Shakur, thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
I respect what he does, he finished, because he does his job.
For Devin, the Devin tanks.
There's only one fight that's really
The one?
bad. Like, if we were like gonna be for real,
While Gervonta Davis has been mentioned as a very possible rival, it seems both men will still have to wait to meet inside the ring. Stevenson and Davis have both expressed a common desire to collide to see who's the better fighter, but Stevenson has also been looking for a fight with super lightweight champion Devin Haney and two-time Olympic gold medalist Vasily Lomachenko.
So like I said, I got Artem in front of me, and that's the focus. And Saturday will be a great show.
We all know that me and Tank are going to have the biggest fight in years to come. Everybody and any promoter will want to be involved when that happens. I just sit back and chill and try not to think about it. I'll think about it when it happens. It's no question my fight with Davis is going to stop everyone Saturday night. That's like the biggest fight in the world if we are really thinking about it. Every hood in America is going to want to watch that fight. It's going to be a tremendous fight. That's the biggest and best fight to make in boxing.
Shakur, you've been successful in this venue. So what is your expectation?
He then continued, "That's the game plan for me and the end goal. That's the fight that I am going to kick the door down with. Honestly, that's the direction I want to go in."
Lead into this fight.
I don't have no expectation.
I'm going to be at 135 pounds for a minute, said Stevenson.
I'm just going in there having fun. I think that's the main thing. Just go in there, have fun. Don't have expectations.
I want to be undisputed at 135 and get the belts one by one. I know that my time will come. Tank Davis has nowhere else to go but to fight me. At the end of the day, me and him will have to fight, and that's my opportunity. But for now, we're focused on Artem.
Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but he got to learn, and I will hope he will pay attention to this because this is going to mean a lot for him.
Roy Jones Jr. is regarded as one of the greatest boxers of all time and believes his keen eye has spotted a flaw in Shakur Stevenson's highly praised game that Gervonta Davis can take advantage of.
His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter.
Speaking on the All the Smoke Fight podcast, Jones says the WBC lightweight champion backs up too much when defending shots, putting him out of range from landing counter punches. Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but he's got to learn, and I hope he pays attention to this. His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter. The last guy he fought, the guy was a good puncher, so when he was jumping back, he was jumping too far back out of range to where he couldn't get something right away. He's a great fighter. He's got great eyesight. He's got great reaction time. He's going to be a great fighter. He's just got to figure out how to use his feet a little differently. Bought on Tank Davis, he said.
Out of range to where he couldn't come back and get something right away. You understand me? And for the fans, it starts to look bored.
That's how I'd say. I feel like he was running.
He really ain't running. He just don't understand that distance. Somebody else teach him.
He's really pound for pound one of the best ones out there. He can punch, but he also can box. Somebody that can box can't punch. Somebody that can punch can't box. Not many guys can do that today. He shows discipline. He knows how to set the punch up before he does it. He's patient enough to set the punch up before he does it. That's a real chess player in the boxing ring. That's the most deadly kind of guy in the world in boxing. A guy that can play chess in the boxing ring is a killer.
Great eyesight. He has great reaction time. He's going to be a great fighter. He just got to figure out how to use them feet a little different.
Is he the best defensive fighter out of all four of them?
Asked if Shakur was the best lightweight in the world, Jones didn't hesitate to shut it down. Right now, no. Instead, he believes the Baltimore native is the best of the bunch. The leader of the race right now is Tank Davis. The WBA belt holder Davis agreed with Jones' assessment, telling Cigar Talk that all Shakur does to avoid getting hit is jump back and believes the fight will be easy work. Hell no, that's not my hardest fight. Why would it be? Show me something that he did spectacular. Show me something that he did outrageous. Show me. His power is not outrageous.
That's what people don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game.
What defense? He just jumps back. You never see him slip. No punches. You just see him back up from a lot of people. Back up, move around, move around. He ain't got no technique. Easy work, bro. I touched him with 16-ounce gloves on, and he ran. Imagine if I hit him with 8-ounce gloves.
So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You got to cut it in half.
Fans might have to wait a little longer to see the two battle it out, as Tank is currently in talks for a unification fight against IBF champion Vasily Lomachenko. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this.